Dan Allegro here, minus Wills, and Tom Dubois, the man who drew Konami. That's what I think of when I think of you now. The man who drew Konami. But the man who still draws Konami. No,
yeah,
so
sort of.
you,
Right. Is it Intel creates? I'm not sure what the correlation. Who Intel creates? I got a comment from somebody that when I made a video, I said, "Oh, this is stuff I got from Konami," and then one of the viewers responded and said, "No, that's not Konami. It's Intel creates." Are you familiar with that?
no, I'm not a. I guess I'm not a. I'm not a modern. We're both out of the loop.
Oh, you know what's going on. I just draw pictures.
Well, you draw very pretty pictures. No, but so Tom, I mean, you have such a history of creating beautiful art for video games, and you know, that's why I'm glad you're here and to, you know, talk about some of those games. And you know, with the games we sent over some games, is there one that you're kind of favorite out of that batch? I mean, is there one that means a lot to you, or is they not that you have to pick a favorite? It's not children.
Can you see the stacks of games
Oh
yet?
yeah.
Okay. Personal favorite, I guess sentimentally probably would have to be Bayou Billy, because that was one of the early ones. And I don't know, I'm just a big fan of Cajun music. I might be slurring a little bit because I have so many problems with my teeth. It's unbelievable. And another tooth is in the process of falling out. I think it's ramifications from the chemo I had years ago. Anyway, so if you hear me slurring my words, I'm not drunk. I'm just battling a loose tooth. Oh,
Well, Bayou Billy was your
anyway,
first. I think it was your first game, right? Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if this was the first. The first game was, I think, Blades of Steel,
Oh, okay.
but I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was Blades of Steel, because that was the one that I had that confusion with the you know, using that stupid Sports Illustrated picture. And that's when they said, well, if you want to keep working for us, you got to give us $15,000. And so, so
That
I
was a lot of money back then.
but they got it. Oh yeah, still.
Oh, it's still a
Anyway,
lot of money, but
10,
back then that was like
crazy,
well, I mean, you always
unbelievable.
did
Everybody
such a
wants
great
to
job
get
with the silver backgrounds and such. I think that for Konami, you know, there's always that that silver gray, you know, tone that makes everything kind of pop out of it. With Bayou Billy, I mean, um, why is it, you know, is it just sticks out because is it just unique to you? Why does it stick out for you?
Yeah, because it was one of the early ones, and yeah, I love that Louisiana culture. I'm a big fan of Cajun music, and the people down there. I've been to New Orleans a few times, and I love the people, and I love the way they talk. And yeah, I was able to. I saw in the early, I guess, VHS tapes they gave me, there was a Willys Jeep in there, and I had a Willys Jeep, and I was able to use that Willys Jeep for reference in there. So I was cool with that. So and you know, I like to draw the scantily clad ladies, and so I was able to draw that gangster guy, you know, trying to uh, get the damsel in distress. And I'm all about uh, being the white hat, you know, and saving uh, people from the bad guys. So I guess that's why kind of drawn to Bayou Billy. And they
I
let
just
me do
thought,
the lettering too. That was
oh,
done separately on a
I was,
separate board. And back then, I guess, they photographed it and they cut and pasted it. And their layout people did that. So anyway, yeah, I got to do, back then I had to do these so quick that I really didn't have time to really focus on the drawing. And I like this one because I want to get back to it and redo it because I really messed up the drawing of Bayou Billy. That back right shoulder is dislocated and I want to fix it. I've been wanting to fix it for 30 years. So this one right now is my personal favorite. Well, I don't know.
oh, I was going to
It could
ask
be
you.
I forgot you had Sunset Riders here too. So that's another
Yeah.
one I like. I always, a big fan of the old spaghetti westerns with Clint Eastwood, Charles Bronson, Once Upon a Time in the West, when he's playing that harmonica. It's just classic stuff. So it kind of was my inspiration on what's it called? I got to put my glasses on.
Oh,
Uh,
Sunset Riders. Sorry.
Sunset Riders, yeah.
It's
So
funny with
anyway,
Bayou Billy. With Bayou Billy, I was thinking you should have dressed up as him for Halloween.
that would have been a good, maybe next
But
year.
yeah, maybe next year. I think you can pull it off. Just got you just got to dislocate your shoulder, and then you're good. I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
and I got to get
No,
my
but
Jeep. I'm so sad I sold that thing. I still wish I had it. That was the coolest Jeep because it had a 307 in it, and the motor was it was balanced and blueprinted. So it had the pistons were boarded out, and the thing did wheelies. But every time I pop a wheelie with it, it would catch on fire. So that's why I had the fire extinguisher taped on the um, the row bar there. I had to put the fire out a few times at a couple stoplights. So I thought that was pretty funny. I used to always drive around with an army helmet. So that kind of tells you the type of person that I am. Oh man, good times. I was 20 years old, so that's
well,
years old.
I'm thinking of the
Playing
Jackal
video
cover
games, you
when
gotta
you
play with,
the Jeep.
make up your own video games as you go.
I
Try
say
to
about the Jackal cover with the Jeep. I'm just thinking of you being in that seat of the Jackal cover. But
yeah,
no, yeah, that that's funny. But yeah, which other games do we have over there with you?
yeah. We got Bayou Billy and I keep wanting to call it Blazing Saddles, but it's
I wish they would have made a movie, video game of that movie, Billy Crystal.
yeah, I would definitely like to put a little vignette in there with the scene around the campfire and eating the beans and
I'm gonna have to watch that movie tonight. I forgot about
Alex
that.
Karras, when Alex Karras hits the horse, he punches
Mhm.
the horse in the mouth and knocks him out. That was classic. Okay, so yeah, we got Dracula's Curse.
And
See
that's
that?
been one of your mainstays is Castlevania, right? I mean, that's been
Yeah,
something that's been very, to your legacy. Castlevania is where you've been. That's really been a highlight.
yeah, it's real popular. I didn't know it back then when I did it, but yeah, all you guys seem to really be into it, and it's cool all these years later. And I know I've mentioned this before, how I'm getting this response that I never knew about ever until like, I don't know, 2010 is when I was contacted by, our mutual friend, our other Dan,
Yeah,
right?
Dan Maresta, good friend.
Yeah. And he's the one who tracked me down, and he's the one who told me, he said, "Hey, Tom, us guys, we love these old pictures that you painted." And I said, "Really?" So he kind of made my day. Well, made my life because, you know, how many years was that? 2010 from, 1990s, from the 90s.
Yeah.
That's a long time where I kind of went off doing my own thing, and I never realized that I had a fan base. Kind
Yeah,
of
I mean,
weird.
the style is so, unique and amazing. It just played into the video games, the imagination, and even stuff when you send me text messages and stuff, and I'm just like, wow, you still got it. That's the thing that's always amazing to me is your style. It's not gone. You know what I mean? Where some people only could do a certain style for a few years of their life, and it's definitely uniquely you. You know.
Yeah, that, that's
Very busy covers that are um action based. It seems like you still got that 20-year-old sense of yourself of being very busy and making a lot happen.
yeah, you really nailed it on the head because you guys, whenever you see these things, here's another one, Super C. you know, I don't want to sound uh what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word, but whenever you see these characters, that's me. I mean, that's the person that I've always wanted to be coming to life in this artwork. And I guess in a way, that's all of you too.
Mhm.
It's that inner uh that inner gallantry, that the knight in shining armor. I always want to be the knight on the horse saving the what was that? Defenders of the Crown. That was another early one. I always wanted to be that guy saving, the person that needed help. And so maybe in that's me in there in all this. And then in a way that kind of carries on to all of you guys. That's you in there too. So I don't know.
Well, no,
Maybe
that's
I'm
true. When I look at a
maybe I'm
cover,
too weird.
I think as a kid, you look at a cover and you're like, hey, this is me inside that adventure. And you putting a picture that really, hey, this is what this game's supposed to be look like. Now you start the game, usually doesn't look anything close to it, but that picture puts a scene in your head that you're like, hey, this is me in that adventure. So it's just like, your cover is always so explosive with action. You look at, the Super C, or if you look at the Castlevania 4. Yeah, there's just
Yeah.
it's beautiful chaos.
Oh, there you go. That's a great way to say it. I'm trying to find the other games that we haven't
Oh,
put in. We did Dracula's Curse, Castlevania.
that's Castlevania 4, the Super Castlevania. I mean, that's yeah. Yeah, Castlevania 4. That's just that cover. I mean, there's almost a square. There's not a square inch empty there. It's just so much happening.
Yeah, kind of like Cecil B. DeMille, Cecil B. DeVille, or
Mhm.
that's probably before your time. Cecil B. DeMille, that director who made all those epic movies. That's that kind of was, my influence in watching films as a kid were those big movies with all that stuff going on. And I guess that's what I try to put in all of these. And still, even now, um, there's a lot going on in these in the in the new ones that I've been doing, like for limited run.
Mhm.
I got a lot of
Oh
stuff
yeah.
going on in there. So, and wait till you see the other ones I have coming up. They're even busier than this. So I just got to be out of my mind. But it's not like I want to put all these guys in there. The the art directors, they say, Tom, we got to have all these guys in there. And I just say, oh, okay.
I get
I'm happy
it.
to do it, but you got to give me the time. And it's weird because, yeah, when I'm doing this work, it's hurry up and get it done. Got to get it done. Got to get it done by such and such a time. And I say, okay. And they say, okay, you got to put this guy in this girl, this monster, add this character, this robot. They just keep piling on the characters, and I hurry up and try to get it done, and then I gotta wait for approval, or approval, and then there's all these revisions, and so the original deadline is totally goes out the window. Why didn't they just tell me that in the first place, that, okay, Tom, it's not really 2 weeks that you have this, it's really 2 months that you have to do it. But they never tell me that. It's always 2 weeks. Anyway.
Well, I guess it's better than the old days where it probably was 3 days or 2 days, 3
Oh,
days.
yeah, a week. I can't believe I did these like in a week. It would never was more than a week. Well, maybe a couple weeks. I don't know. I can't remember that far back. That's ancient history. But I think there's another one that we haven't touched on here.
Which
And
one was it?
Turtles in Time, I think, was
Oh
one.
yeah, we did a few of Turtles in Times, and I remember you told me about Turtles in Time that it was very much the art director that had a direction. I love that cover. I mean, it definitely is just something unique there.
Yeah, that's pretty popular with you guys. Okay, here it is. Yeah, yeah. For some reason, that's a popular one. Oh,
It's okay. No one's playing that copy in the future. Well, there's just
I
something
didn't get
about
it.
all the covers that I could think of yours. They're very mature. Like they're video games, but they're not PG-13 action. Even though there's nothing horribly happening, there's just so much action happening. So it just felt like it's not a kid's video game, right? I mean, when you look at those covers, it's there's a lot of action happening, and it looks like a game that, hey, that's for a teenager can really bite into. So again,
Yeah,
probably more of that what is that beautiful chaos, but
yeah. That's
the
that's nice.
20-year-old Tom Dubois covers, it's as a kid, I think everyone related to those covers, that they wanted to put themselves in that character that you want to put yourself into, which is I think what makes them so great. And even all the art for video games at that time, you had young people allowed to use their imagination, right? I mean, that's not always the case in art, in commercial art.
Yeah, right on. Um, yeah, now the work that's done now with the computer generated stuff, man, that stuff is so good. I don't know how they do it. I was never trained in that technology, and I'm sure there's those out there that really study that work and how wonderful it is, and maybe they can tell one illustrator from another, but I can't. I mean, it's all spectacular visual stuff, but the problem that I have with it is there's just not that human element is lacking. There might be some exceptions that I've come across that I've really admired, but there's still something about that technology aspect applied to creative imagery that um, there's something not there. Maybe that is that human element that comes through with the work that I do because, I gotta start with, with this. I gotta just draw it.
Mhm.
And that all comes from the heart and soul,
Mhm.
and you just can't digitize that. Even though now, I'll take this and then I'll scan it and then I'll render it electronically, it still has this foundation. So
Mhm.
I think that still comes across that you're not getting with the completely computer generated work where I suppose they build the structure first and then they wrap it in skin and fabric and who knows what. But like I said, that stuff is just so good. I mean, I can't, I love looking at it, but man, it's just over my head. It's just, I don't, I even like the films, the CGI films. It's just too much. It's just too much. I can't. I enjoy it, but man, there's just something about the old ways that should never be lost. We can't all be turned into robots. We got to maintain our humanity. So
Yeah, I mean, I think, the humanity in your artwork, I mean, is why we're talking about it today, right? 30 years later, right? And it's something that, it's very uniquely to you. And, it's something that a lot of people have looked at your art and they're like, I really like this. And they don't know why. And I think that, they connect with you. That's the thing, is they connect with you as, with your art, which is, a very human nature, thing. And that's something special.
yeah, here I am, 64 now. 64. Oh my gosh. But I'm still the same kid when I was 30 doing this stuff. I'm exactly the same. I haven't changed. I have the same, I like the same music. I like the same goofy stuff I used to do then, although I can't do it anymore, but it's still what keeps me going.
Well, and maybe that's why, I mean, your art today is still amazingly, it feels the same, not, it has that very much feel, it's kind of funny how some artists and even musicians, they kind of can't get back to it. And it's because they're different people, much different, right? They like different things than they did then. But it seems like your art now, what you've showed me, I mean, you're doing some of your best work still. It's quite amazing when I, see some of your stuff. It's just it's still uniquely you. And I've never seen a cover where I've ever mixed up the two between you and someone else, because yours are always so uniquely you, which is great. I think that's as high as a compliment almost you can get as an artist, right?
It is. Thanks for that,
Yeah.
Dan. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's just the way it is. You nailed it on the head. That's pretty much all there is to it. And
Yeah. Well, did you want to sign a few and show, we're doing that signature series, and that'd be fun if you signed a few and showed a few off. And we appreciate, these will be available next, early 2022 for people to, we're making that case to put them in, and to give it like a display case around it.
yeah, happy to do it.
Yeah,
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
for the opportunity. I really am grateful for this, and to think that there's actually collectors out there who enjoy this stuff still to this day and even want my name on there. Happy to do it. I'm honored.
Oh,
Really
well,
am flattered that guys would want my signature on there. So let's get this party started.
yeah,
And
we'll just have you do a few, and just do whatever colors you want, and appreciate it.
yeah, and I feel bad that I'm such a uh, I just don't have the know-how to get on Instagram. So maybe
me and you are gonna figure out again.
Yeah, well, when
Me and
we
you're
do
gonna
this
figure it out.
live,
We're gonna do it again.
okay, good, because
We're
I feel bad for, maybe there's a couple guys out there that wanted to kind of join the conversation. I'd love to do that, by the way, if we are able to
Yeah.
figure out how to do this, if there's questions or anything that I can answer. And, down the road, I know I talk about this a lot. I'd like to do some live streams where I'm actually working at the same time. But I don't know. One
We'll
step
figure it
at a,
out. I'm gonna help you figure that out. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and honestly, it's me and you'll figure it out. I think it'll be a lot of fun because I think I've seen some of your YouTube videos where you were drawing. You sent over to me, and it's just truly amazing.
oh, that's just fun stuff. Yeah,
But those are the those are the things that are unique and fun to watch, and a lot of people I think will yeah like to watch you draw because it is quite amazing.
yeah, I think it's boring. That's why I do the other stuff in there. Yeah, uh, yeah, the main reason for those videos is, as an artist, and if there's other artists out there who enjoy the work that I do, it gives an opportunity to kind of zoom in on the work so you could see it a little better than, these little things, you just, even this. Although what's cool is they put the posters in there now.
Oh,
So you really get a good um, feeling for, the characters that, kind of get lost when they're so small. So it's cool that they're putting the posters in these uh, limited run editions. So,
that's awesome.
okay, did you want me to number these, Dan? I know we talked about that before.
We'll number them. You don't have to worry about it. We'll
Oh,
number it
yeah.
hard. I don't want you to have to spend that time on it. I appreciate it, and but yeah, no, I mean, you know what? You don't have to sign them all in front of the camera, nothing like that. I'm just glad
Yeah,
we got a
that
moment.
was one. Maybe I should, while we're doing this, should I show some of the drawings I'm
Oh
doing
yeah,
for?
let's do that. That sounds great. I think people would love to see it. I'm sure there's a lot of artists that love your style that love to see what you've been working on.
Yeah, I get some nice comments from you guys, and I appreciate that. But gosh darn, I see the work that's on. Uh, I don't know the name. What do they call these sites where people put their artwork up on their Pinterest and stuff?
Hmm. There's another site too.
Oh
The
my
something
God.
DeviantArt, is that called DeviantArt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are these people? I mean, they are so good. I am just an amateur, so I can't believe people are even interested in the work that I do. But who are those people? They drive me crazy. I look at that stuff and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'd never be able to do that. Neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. Boy, I'm having a problem getting the words out. So, uh, where should I start? I mean, I really have to develop this stuff. I mean, it just doesn't come. Let me try to find a good example. I mean, I slave over this stuff. I never get it right the first time. I'm always doing it and redoing it. I think a good example would be with that Wolfman guy. I think his name is Brad Fang in the Contra game that I'm working on. I'm working on that now, although I still haven't gotten approval. But I'm moving ahead anyway, just in case it gets approved, and that way I'll have a lot of it done. But just for example, to show you how I develop these characters and how I'm just not good enough to get it right the first time. I got to do it over and over and over until I'm finally happy with the final product. So
I always find it funny when you mention to me that you can't get it right on the first time. And I don't think there's an artist out there that does get it right on the first time. I like how that you're hard on yourself for that, because it's
I see these guys draw like these comic book artists. Of course, Simon Bisley, who I think is just a genius, and he gets it right the first time. I mean, he can do no wrong. And I'm sure there's others that I know about that are just so talented. I don't have any talent. What I do have is love. I have love for doing what I do, and maybe I love it because I don't know how to do anything else. But anyway, back to what I was saying, like Brad Bang, he's one of the characters in the Contra game that I'm working on. So I just want to get a feel for the character. So I start with something, that's really poorly drawn. And I just kind of build it up. And I build and build, and just little things I see where I can, maybe change the body position a little bit. And then play around with tone and shading and, some of the area where the character is going to be seen, some of the landscape. And I'm still not done with this guy. I'm still trying to figure him out, and I almost got to see him, to a final stage of completion before I realize, that's just not working. Before I get to this, which is, totally different from where I started out. I changed
wow.
the head and the body position, but when I get comfortable with how I want them to sit in the composition, then I'll go to the full tone. But then even from here, because of the capabilities on Photoshop, I can really zoom in and fine tune the drawing. So even this, even from here, I can't show it because I don't have my computer here. But even from this point, I'll go in and I'll really fine tune it, which is the cool thing about the technology now, which I could never do before. Before, if I had to make a revision, I'd have it all painted and everything. You gotta go through so much work to make a revision. I'd never be able to get it to the point that I get to final stage if I didn't have the technology as a tool to work with. So that's a good thing about the technology. Plus the time that it takes to do a revision with the technology is quicker, which you all know. I mean, preaching to the choir here. So, but anyway,
Well, it's amazing.
It's a lot of work. But you could see, I mean, I do stacks and stacks of drawing, just developing these characters. And since I can't see as good as I used to, I have to do it in pieces. And I think there's I think one of the main boss in Contra. But I mean, these are really complex drawings. I mean, it's fun for me because whoever comes up with these ideas for these characters, I mean, who is this guy that comes up with this? I see the image on the game, and it's, it's not as detailed as I do it, but whoever develops these characters for the games I mean, these are really creative, and I don't think I could ever come up with these guys. So I really admire the character development. Uh, and so it just goes on and on and on with these guys. And then I'll get it to, find something interesting to talk about here. But here, like, this is the girl, I think she's Sheena in Contra. But as I develop her, I'm finding out the body position that, this obviously isn't working. So, I kind of bring it to this point, and then I get it to this point. Can you see that okay?
Yeah, definitely changes to a different stance.
Where's another one? Oh, I want to show you, since we're on the topic of the girl characters. This was one I had fun with. I think you might find this interesting. I forget what her name is called. This was Requiem. This is the game I just finished. She's in Requiem, and there's this three-headed dog in there.
Oh, wow.
But she's I modeled her after Raquel Welch. I don't know if you know who she is, but she was when I was 12 years old. It was Raquel Welch or Julie Newmar, Catwoman.
Oh.
Those were the two when I was 12 years old. I said, if I can't find either of those two, I'm never going to be married. So that's why I'm still married. But anyway, so I'm developing this character, and she's sitting on top of this three-headed dog type dragon. And so she's sitting on there, but she's the final one that I did. And the director, whoever it was, I don't know if this was going to Konami or what, but they didn't like those points I put on her nipples. So yeah, you got to get rid of those points on there. I don't know why I put them on there. Like I said, I'm just being me. And so I had to, where's it at? Oh, man. So I had to put clothes on her. You see that? So, but anyway, I do these drawings, but I can see, it's good for me to do these drawings as close as I can to final, because I could see where my drawing errors are. And I see her head is too far, it's cocked too far to her right side. So when I got this to the computer, I was able to cut that head off and move it over and do the fine tuning adjustments that I couldn't do before. Like for Bayou Billy, I could put his shoulder back in place. So anyway.
That technology, yeah, no, it's amazing. I mean, again, like, I know you don't think you're talented, but I couldn't draw an arm of any of those characters or even a toe. Yeah. why I'm here admiring your talent. You know what I mean?
But it's hours and hours of work and just looking at it and studying it. And it's really no big deal, because I could never do, I don't know what you do, but I could never do your job. So we all have different palettes and canvases that we work on. And the cool thing about it is that's what makes us the individuals and characters we are. And that's why we can have these fun back and forth because, you know, we all have different lives and passions, and it's fun to see how the other half lives. And that's the
Yeah.
beautiful thing about being alive, you know. It's really cool.
No,
So
definitely.
anyway,
That's where,
I'd
you
like
know,
to-
just getting a glimpse at your art and seeing how some of the stuff comes to be is amazing because, you know, it's like you said, it's a glimpse of seeing how, you know, something beautiful is created, you know, and we all have strengths and stuff and weaknesses, and that's what makes us human. So, um, you know, that's, you know, yeah, no, and your art definitely is something that's a strength, to say the least.
never want to lose our humanity because there's, you know, all this talk now about AI and, you know, all this quantum stuff that's going on. But I don't think that'll ever be able, I mean, the robots, you can buy these robots now, right? And you know, they can never really exhibit the feelings that human beings can exhibit uh,
Mhm,
to another. And that's the beautiful thing about us, you know, that's
mhm,
what I enjoy about uh, humanity and this this love affair that I'm getting to have with all of you guys, you know,
mhm.
that are coming to me from who knows where, from all over the world, all
Yeah,
over the world. It
different
boggles my
people
mind.
from different walks of life, but all have a common love of your art. You know,
Yeah,
that's
I love that aspect of it. That's after th- through all the, you know, the struggle that I have in doing this. Um, that's what makes it all worth it. Is that
mhm,
I get to do it and I get a reaction, and it so far it's all been good, and that's a beautiful thing, and that's definitely my compensation. So I
well,
think I said
it's
that before, but
well, I mean that human, you know, the human aspect of having people relate to your artwork and you get to create something that drives a human reactions is something remarkable, you know, and that's beautiful, you know, that's it's beautiful, it's love, it's everything, you know, in one piece of art, right? You know, that's what brings us here to talk about it and you know, keep on creating beautiful art. And I'm glad that we're here talking about it. I'm hoping we'll jump on again. We'll do an Instagram live and I'm gonna help you figure out how to do the you know, how you could draw live and it'll be fun. You know, I think the more interaction the better, and interactions the human nature that's good for all of us. But
yeah.
thank you, Tom. Any last words for the fans? I mean, you've given them a lot of love.
No, I feel bad for being so sloppy. I'm not really good at uh, talking, as you could see, and
Oh, you did a great job.
the opportunity because yeah, I never get to talk to anybody. I mean, my life is what it is now here, looking after my parents and Javier, he's my dog. And he's such a wreck. He's laying down here, but he's 21 years old.
Wow.
he just, he's having such a hard time, but I don't know what to do because he's still happy. You know, he still loves to pee on stuff and smell stuff, and
we
he loves to eat. You know, I just, you know, I don't know what to do, but he just can barely walk. And anyway,
yeah.
famous last words. I don't know. Maybe Javier. Hey, let's say bye to Javier. Huh? Say bye to everybody. Come on, up, come on, up. Oh, you got it. Up. Come on, boy. You can
He's like,
do
I'm
it. Up.
sleeping.
Come on. You gotta say hey. You see him?
Hey,
There
Javier,
he
21. Good
is,
job,
boy.
buddy.
Say
Good
hi,
job,
boy.
buddy.
Okay,
Javier, you're a
I'm
champ.
there you go.
Well, thank you, Tom, and no, appreciate it once again, and keep up the good work.